nikakuja nikaonyeshwa boundary, hawa wakarudi kotini, wakapewa oda ingine through compromise, surveyor akuje awarudishie 7. Ile 7 yetu. Mzee alinunua hii 7 kabla ya kwenda detention, juu alikuwa freedom fighter. Na aliaga kabla hii 7 kurudi.
Kirika's assistant Joki Wamadore said that the land map shows clearly where the physical boundaries lie and the law should be followed. The demanding justice alleging foul play in the demarcation.
Our justice to be given today, that we may be given our rightful share, because this is what we shared from our late father.
The neighbors occupying the land refused to comment on the matter. The family is now calling on Cabinet Secretary for Lands to set in and order for the mapping of the land to settle the matter. Yusuf Farah, Channel 1 News.
Elsewhere, Meru County leaders led a security meeting in the region following an increase in retaliations
of Lara to address the concerns. Speaking after the meeting, Meru County Commissioner Allan Aoko and Meru Governor Kiraitu Murungi said the county security team will beef up security and continue engaging residents and people from the neighboring counties.
Wale wanajua Igembe North tunapakana na jirani na mpaka mrefu karibu 200 kilometers with our Isiolo county. Then in between kuna watu wengi katikati hapo wamekaribia, kuna Turkana, kuna Somali, kuna Borana. Sasa hii mchanganyiko yote tumesumbuana sana kwa malisho. Na ndio tumekuwa hapa leo kwa sababu ya kuhakikisha usalama wetu ndio number 1.
The area MP Maoka Maora pledged to work with other leaders to ensure that incidences of insecurity are dealt with expeditiously. Conflict in the area is often sparked by lack of adequate resources such as water and pasture.
Na hii watu wako na ngamia na sisi hatulishi ngamia hapa. Hiyo tuna mpango wa kutoa na warudi kwao. Wawachane na mashamba yetu. Ndio imetuleta hapa leo hiyo. Hiyo ya mashamba na hiyo ya wizi ng'ombe zile wameiba moja moja. Mpaka ikawa karibu ng'ombe 380. Na hakuna operation wamefanya ya kuiba kwa fujo 2, 3 wakati wa kumalisho na maji.
Igembe North Sub-County, which borders Isiolo County, has seen violence spark resulting in the death of residents, injuries, rape and cattle theft. The national government is constructing a GSU camp at Ndumuru in Igembe North to combat insecurity in the area.
Mimi nimefurahi sana nikiwa gavana wa Meru kwa sababu sasa tumeshikana na national government ikiongozwa na county commissioner na the area member of parliament Mheshimiwa Aoko Maore kuona vile tutatatua hizi sinda zozote. Tayari county commissioner amemwambia vile wakulima wa ng'ombe watajipanga na vile tutakutana na viongozi wa county Isiolo kuona vile tutatatua mambo ya wizi wa ng'ombe.
Caroline Kamara reporting for Channel 1 Lunchtime News.
Now, the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, KNCCI, has partnered with several companies and banks to offer loans to those adversely affected by the coronavirus pandemic to restart their businesses. Now, Chairman Mutavi Kidhu, while speaking in Machakos County, said that the initiative will help those persons who had registered with the chamber to easily get loans which may boost or restart their businesses. Kidhu said most of these businesses, such as bars and clubs, are yet to be reopened owing to lack of stock.
Stocks zile tulikuwa nazo, zingine zime-expire. Wafanyikazi wale tulikuwa nao, wengine walitoroka na wengine walikuwa na loans tulikuwa tumewapatia kama wafanyikazi wetu. Kwa hivyo saa hii mfanyabiashara wa hoteli na bar ako na shida mingi sana. Kama chemba tumejitolea na tumeungana na wafadhili wengine ambao wamekubali kutupatia pesa. Wale ambao wameapply wameendelea na kupata pesa. Unapewa mkopo wa up to 30,000 shillings ambao hauna riba na hauna security. Kwa hivyo tungependa kuuliza wafanye biashara ambao wanaumia, wale ambao hawana pesa ya kuanzisha biashara zao tena, wafike kwa maofisi zetu, wa register kama members, alafu wapewe hizo loans ambazo hazina riba na hazina security.
Well, now we want to take our first quick short break, but when we return, more news. Stay with us.
Excuse me, who is this trying to call me with his gadget? Please, before you call me Professor Ouma, you should have a telecommunicative device. My friend, we professors, we do not walk, we locomote. We do not drive problem boxes, yani probox.
To get Professor, bonyeza star 811 star 759 hash. Dial star 811 star 759 hash.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
The efficient utilization of water resources in the country for irrigation is a key driver of the food security pillar under President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda. This week on Project 254.
Kwa sahi ukiangalia unaona kila mtu wako kwa shamba. Tunapalilia na tunafurahi kwa sababu tunapalilia na maji iko ndani.
Tukikuja hapa tunapata pesa yenye tukirudi nayo nyumbani inatusaidia, tunapata chakula.
Saa hizi tuko na milk hapa, hatuendi Mwea. Hii nikivuna mchele yangu hapa napeleka kwa store.
Only on KBC Channel 1.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Freeze! This is a holdup.
Ease up there, Casper.
I wouldn't do that.
You're not a rapper.
So pull your pants up.
Guess who's back in town? Who? Annie Streets. I was gonna catch a movie tomorrow night.
By yourself?
You know that Mexican guy you arrested?
You don't know who you're messing with.
Release my brother if you want to see her alive.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to Mexico.
No, you're not going to Mexico.
When danger becomes a reality, it must be met head on.
12 gauge in the knee seat. Gonna raise a little angle off the red daddy to ride. I'm a redneck fool in a four-wheel drive. Got a 12 gauge in the...
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Mwalimu, Angi's mother shares birthday day with Fala's girlfriend.
Really? What a weird coincidence.
You and I both can agree that all this is not for Sisha.
Saitan. See, I thought we said we are not going to speak about that Jachien again. Why are you spoiling my mood, Yawa?
Please, Yose, what is wrong, eh?
Please, what? You think I'm one of those women you are calling?
Mwalimu, can you imagine Sisha wants to kill Ngalo?
Or maybe it is you.
Me? Why? What did I do to you?
Now, welcome back. We are glad that you're still with us. Now, the judiciary has rolled out an online system to hear and determine High Court cases in Northeastern region in a bid to fast-track pending cases. This comes as the Mijikenda Council of Elders have kick-started a campaign to woo county assemblies in the coastal region to champion for the recognition of Mijikenda traditional dispute resolution mechanisms within the confines of the law. Now, the group argues this will reduce the backlog of cases.
In a bid to cure the slow wheels of justice, the judiciary has now rolled out an online system to hasten cases for residents in far-flung areas such as Mandera and Wajir who have often been forced to travel to have their cases adjudicated at the Garissa High Court.
I'm now down to Garissa for High Court matters. We just do it online. They argue their cases and I make the decision online.
Speaking after releasing 18 inmates in a bid to decongest Mandera GK prison, High Court Judge Justice Charles Kariuki said the exercise gives the court users committee an opportunity to identify those cases that drag for years and dispense with them. Those who were released had served for 3 to 5 years and the probation officer gave them a clean bill of health.
They done what we call decongestion. And we have released 8 of them who had qualified, who have met the threshold by the report from the probation officer, showing that they have a remaining period is a short one, and also they have good conduct for the period they have been here.
Nilikuwa makatatu hapa Kenya prison. Sasa nimepata leo fursa ya kutoka. Alafu nimeshukuru kwanza serikali ya Kenya na ukubwa wetu yote hapa. Mimi kesi yangu nilikuwa unlawful bila sheria. Na mimi ni Mkenya na sina ID. Sasa leo nimepata fursa ya kutoka.
Separately, Kaya elders drawn from all 9 Mijikenda sub-tribes met with a section of MCAs within Kilifi County to persuade them to spearhead the entrenchment of Mijikenda traditional codes in Tilo. The elders want the government to recognize the Mijikenda traditional codes known as Kambi Kiama, the same way the Islamic Catholic codes have been recognized and entrenched in the Kenyan constitution.
Koti zetu za kitamaduni na kuzipa uwezo na msaada wa kuendeleza. Inawezekana kwamba kuna kesi nyingine hazitafika kwetu kwa sababu kuna serikali kuu. Kama pengine hatuwezi kuamua kwamba huyo auawe. Lakini hata hivyo ikifika hapo pendekezo litakuwa kwa maandishi na linaweza kwenda mpaka kwa yule jaji mkuu.
The group adding that the abandonment of the Mijikenda culture and judicial system has led to an escalation of vices in the society, and there was need to address disputes at the community level instead of the courts.
Ni dhahiri kabisa kuna mahakimu wengi, kuna mawakili ambao hawajui hizi sheria zetu za kitamaduni. Lakini ndizo ambazo ni msingi ambao umeongoza maisha yetu kwa miaka yote. Na sasa tukiona zinanyambulika, zinaisha, tunaenda kuona jamii inazidi kuumia.
Elder Baya Mitsanze from Kaya Fungo described that the structure of the traditional codes would start at the family level with an appeal system that stretches to the clan level, Kambia Kiama. Mitsanze pointing out that the establishment of an alternative dispute resolution mechanisms would help in tackling the huge backlog of cases in Kenyan courts.
Mkuu analalamika kwamba mahakama zetu ziko na msongamano wa kesi nyingi sana. Alafu hajawezeshwa kikamilifu kuweza kupata majaji wa kutosha na bajeti ya kutosha ya kuweza kushughulikia zile kesi ambazo ziko ndani ya mahakama yetu. Sasa nyinyi mmekuja na mwafaka, mwelekeo ambao unaweza kusaidia kutatua na kupeana tena kwa kiwango gharama ya chini sana, na pia itasaidia kusambaza na kuboresha amani ndani ya jamii zetu jinsi tunavyoishi.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
Elsewhere, police in Kiambu are faulting the Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions for allegedly frustrating their efforts to fight crime. Githunguri Assistant County Commissioner Felista Ngumbao is accusing the Office of the DPP of failing to ensure a watertight case, resulting in criminals going scot-free. At the same time, Ngumbao challenged Kiambu County leadership to help tame the culture of tampering with evidence that frustrates legal processes. Ngumbao cited a case in point in which a businessman illegally trading in alcohol was set free by the DPP's office owing to insufficient evidence to secure a prosecution despite being found in possession of the brew.
I feel that that the DPP should have gone ahead to prosecute this person, because first thing, he was operating without a license, and then the DPP orders that now we are supposed now to give back his stock. Where will he take the stock? He will definitely continue operating without a license. And there are even minutes from the county government which was forwarded to us to indicate that this guy will not be licensed anytime soon, because he has been notorious. I think the county government is even tired with him. So they are not going to license him anytime soon. So my question is, where will he take this alcohol? Huyu mtu is very notorious and he operates with a lot of impunity. Kwa sababu yeye akisha toa pombe kwa manufacturer, anakuja anatamba, anachukua vikombe vidogo vidogo, anagawa ile pombe, anauza. Kwa hivyo tunaona kama viongozi wa hapa anaweka our youth ana expose our youth into so many dangers, kwa sababu ile pombe ikiweza kuingia sumu, vijana wetu wataweza kupotelea pale. Mimi ningetaka kuuliza the county commissioner Kiambu and the governor Bwana Nyoro watusaidie kabisa.
Meanwhile, Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i has warned politicians to watch their tongues, saying the stability of the country should not be sacrificed at the altar of temporary inflation of passions. Matiang'i maintained all leaders should follow the guidelines outlined by the National Security Advisory Committee regarding holding of public meetings within the confines of the law.
A day after the National Security Advisory Committee read the Riot Act for politicians allegedly contravening the law and MOH guidelines on COVID-19, Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i cautioned politicians against propagating hate. He challenged the leaders to think of the country's stability.
Not repeat mistakes we have done before, and we know where we are going to go with those kinds of mistakes, where leaders take the platform and just basically say anything. It doesn't matter whether they are lying or not. It doesn't matter whether they are hurting people or not. We cannot live that way. We have a responsibility, and I want to call upon you, my brothers and sisters, that Kenya is ours, all of us, and therefore we have an equal responsibility, all of us, to build it, to ensure it is stable, and to ensure that we hand it over to our children and our children's children better than we even found it. That way we'll then have made a sensible contribution.
At the same time, he urged Kenyans to adhere to the restrictions and guidelines set, adding that it is everyone's responsibility to protect the stability of the nation.
We have to safeguard our society for us, for ourselves, not for someone else, for us. And let's keep sending this message, going one person at a time and engaging in these conversations, that as a country, we are always better than this.
The National Security Advisory Committee issued a directive that conveners of all public meetings and public processions shall notify the officer commanding station, OCS, of such intent at least 3 days before the proposed date. It also directed individuals who choose to address any public meeting that they shall be bound by legal penalties and obligations. The National Cohesion and Integration Act, which bars speeches, utterances and messages that borders ethnic balkanization. The guidelines have since sparked varied opinions. Betty Kiptum, Channel 1 News.
Welcome, it's time to trade now. Kenya plans to introduce genetically modified cassava seeds as the country plans to increase production. The Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization has already applied to the National Biosafety Authority, which is in the final stages of approving the seed. Kenya produces 1.5 tons of cassava annually, valued at 22 billion shillings.
Despite cassava providing dietary and energy needs for more than 500,000 homesteads in the country, production has been declining due to a combination of poor seeds and low market yields. Last year, the country produced 973,000 tons of cassava, all of which were sold and consumed in the country.
Going forward, this is a very important crop because it is used as food, it is used as feed, it is used in industry. And we think that farmers in the arid and semi-arid areas of this country can be able to benefit from this crop. Currently, it is grown in 12 counties, Busia being the leading county, but other counties include Kisumu, Mtwapa, Kitui, Machakos, and several others.
To boost the uptake of the crop, the government published the flour blending policy regulations to create market linkages between farmers and processors, where cassava was proposed to be used with maize or wheat flour to produce highly nutritious composite flour.
We hope to train farmers so that they can apply good agronomic practices with varieties with high yield potential. And once we have increased the productivity, there's the challenge of market. And we are addressing that challenge of market through value addition.
However, millers have over the years complained lack of enough cassava in the Kenyan markets. The Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization Director General Eliud Kieragel says Carlo has embarked on training extension staff and service providers from counties implementing the Kenya Climate Smart Agricultural Productivity Project that seeks to boost the production of the crop in the country. Speaking during a cassava value chain training of trainers meeting at the Carlo field offices in Mtwapa, Kiriged says the project targets to train 500,000 smallholder farmers in the 3 counties of Kisumu, Busia and Lamu.
So part of the training we are doing today is on post-harvest management. That is value addition, so that they can be able to prolong the life of the product, so that they don't create a glut in the market. Currently, most of it is just used for cooking. Very little is going into the industry. But if the industry opens up, and also the industry cannot open up if we don't have enough planting material.
Cassava is the 3rd most important food and cash crop in the world and accounts for 1/3 of the total production of staple food crops in sub-Saharan Africa. Carlo says the genetically modified cassava is resistant to cassava brown streak disease, a common viral disease present in Kenya that attacks the crop. O'Brien Kiman for Lunchtime Business News.
Into more good news now. Micro, small and medium enterprise traders around the country are set to benefit from a 125 million shillings economic resilience building package after the launch of an initiative to support small business outlets recover from the coronavirus pandemic. Corporates Coca-Cola, Amref, APSA, Women Enterprise Fund and the county government of Laikipia have partnered to support over 80,000 traders, with 18,000 of those benefiting in the first phase beginning this month.
In June this year, the Central Bank of Kenya warned that close to 70% of SMEs were likely to close business due to the impact of COVID-19. Despite government support, many still are unaware of availability of support or where to get it. The government is yet to operationalize the much-awaited credit guarantee scheme for distressed small businesses. Speaking during the launch of the Economic Resilience Building Package for MSMEs, like-minded corporates committed to support MSMEs for a period starting this month to March 2021 by being provided with financial COVID-19 health protocols compliance consultations and PPE support.
So the funding will be applied into that. And number 3, you also have APSA, who are our financing partner in this. And the key thing from APSA as well is to provide the working capital support that we need. And this is both to our distributors and also to the shops who buy from the distributors.
The MSMEs were identified by analyzing consumption data gathered during the COVID-19 period.
Over this COVID period, we've had the opportunity to query data. We've done a lot of data analytics. Okay, we already know which areas of our country where we operate that are struggling more than others. Okay, and that's where we basically go into and say, let's start with the most impacted, and then over time, we can go to the less impacted as well.
The county government of Laikipia committed a further 123 million shillings into the program, of which 73% will cater as an interest cost subsidy to MSMEs.
As a tripartite partnership is to ensure that we stimulate the resumption of the economy in a safe manner, and also ensuring that there's sufficient working capital and financial support to ensure that the value chain and the ecosystem of the traders is actually able to get back on its feet.
And now, President Uhuru Kenyatta Thursday signed into law the 2020-2021 County Revenue Allocation Bill, paving the way for the disbursement of exchequer funds to the counties. In the current fiscal year, counties will get 369.87 billion, which comprises of 316.5 billion shillings as equitable share, with the rest consisting of conditional grants, fuel levy, as well as loans and grants.
The County Allocation of Revenue Bill 2020 was published on 17th of April 2020, but its enactment was delayed at the Senate until September. For at least 10 times, senators failed to agree on how government revenue was to be shared between the national and the devolved government. The delay in passing the revenue sharing formula saw the governors announce the shutting down of some services in the counties. The impasse at the Senate was resolved with a formula passed in September. And on Tuesday, the National Assembly passed the County Allocation of Revenue Bill that was on Thursday morning signed into law by President Uhuru Kenyatta. The new law allocates to counties a sum of 369.87 billion shillings in the current fiscal year, comprising of 316.5 billion shillings of equitable share and 13.73 billion shillings in conditional grants from the government. The cash also includes 9.43 billion shillings from the road maintenance fuel levy, as well as 30.2 billion shillings in loans and grants. The conditional allocation is to be utilized in the provision of services such as leasing of medical equipment and rehabilitation of youth polytechnics across the 47 counties. The bill was presented to the head of state for signature by Speaker of the Senate Ken Lusaka at a ceremony attended by Speaker of the National Assembly Justin Muturi and Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani. Also present were leaders of majority in the Senate and the National Assembly, clerks of both houses, Solicitor General Ken Ogeto, and State House Deputy Chief of Staff Njaya Muturi.
And further afield now, the UK has agreed to settle a lawsuit over how it selected an IT contract for coronavirus testing at its Lighthouse Labs. British company Diagnostics AI claimed it lost out to European rival Ugentech despite spotting some positive coronavirus cases its rival missed. Now, it sued the government over the decision, claiming the selection process was unfair and unlawful. Here are the details of this and other stories in our International Business Roundup.
Lighthouse Labs are a UK-wide network of specialist coronavirus laboratories managed by the government and run by private firms. When the labs was set up, companies pitched to analyze the test results. The dispute was due to be played in court. It would have meant a public examination of the accuracy and the speed of the testing system at a time when it has come under serious criticism. But the government has decided to settle the case and will pay Diagnostics AI compensation and most of its legal fees, estimated at £2 million. However, despite agreeing to the payout, the government has refuted the claims made by Diagnostics AI, saying they are inaccurate. Meanwhile, Samsung predicts its profit jumped nearly 60% last quarter, suggesting it could soon retake its position as the world's top smartphone seller from Chinese rival Huawei. The South Korean conglomerate says it expects to make an operating profit of about $10.6 billion for the July-September quarter. Samsung said it expects sales for the third quarter will rise about 6% to $57 billion. Earlier this year, the company was displaced by Huawei as the world's top smartphone seller as the coronavirus pandemic weighed on the global economy. Most of Huawei's sales are in China, which has recovered faster than other countries. Finally, creative artists in South Africa are feeling the heat from the health restrictions put on crowd gatherings amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The creative arts industry depends on audience to buy tickets for theater productions, concerts, book signings, and event art openings. However, with safety measures in place to control the spread of the virus, the 6-month-long lockdown period has meant no gatherings and no revenue generated either. South Africa's Department of Arts and Culture released a $9 million relief fund to assist artists during the pandemic. The package was only offered to those whose projects were cancelled as a result of the lockdown. Artists say their work is more than just a one-time event. The creative industry sector contributes 2.9% to South Africa's GDP. Sheila Yogo, reporting for Channel 1 Business.
The government plans to roll out a compensation scheme for police officers who die in the line of duty. The scheme, part of ongoing police reforms, is aimed at improving officers' welfare, thereby boosting their morale. Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i says the new welfare scheme will be launched later this year.
The quality of life Kenyan police officers lead has for long been described as deplorable due to poor remuneration and bad working environment. This was highlighted by the 2011 Kriegler report that called for better pay, improved working conditions and proper training for the Kenya Police Service. In 2015, the force achieved a major milestone after the government contracted a local underwriter to offer insurance cover to uniformed officers. The government has also been constructing thousands of houses for police officers and upgrading police stations.
Under the new Big Four arrangement plan we have, now some of the houses that we are building are reserved for police officers, so that we too live and begin to enjoy a better quality of life, as it were.
And this year, the force will roll out another welfare scheme for officers who lose their lives in the line of duty. Interior Ministry Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i says part of the affordable housing project has been set aside for police officers in efforts to provide decent housing for uniformed officers. Matiang'i was speaking during the launch of Kenya Police Sacco Digital Systems Upgrade, where he said through cooperatives, members of the disciplined forces can access affordable credit and uplift their lives. Sentiments echoed by the Principal Secretary in charge of cooperatives, Ali Nur Ismail, who lauded the SACCO for going digital.
This is how we will manage to support our officers and ensure that our officers' lives, especially the lives of their families, in the event, God forbid, anything happens, some of these children can actually go to school, some of these children can have a future as they go forward.
This is the way to go, because we know technology is important for delivery of services, especially for a financial institution like a SACCO.
The Inspector General of Police, Hilary Mutyambai, said technology more than ever has shown how important it is for organizations this year with the COVID-19 pandemic, adding that the new systems will improve customer service delivery.
SACCOs are worth investments, ventures, providing members an opportunity to save and access affordable credit to enhance their personal development and those of their families.
With the new system, the society is operating a new co-banking solution, ERP, and alternative business channels, key among them being MTAWI, a mobile banking solution available on both the app and the USST. MTAWI has in particular been a timely addition to our menu by offering members a lot of flexibility.
Betty Kiptum, Channel 1 Business.
Elsewhere, North Rift Kenya Power Regional Manager Kipkemboi Kibias has warned the company's workers against engaging in illegal connections in the region. Speaking after illegal power lines disconnections in West Pokot, Kipkemboi said that KPLC has been incurring heavy losses due to illegal connections, a situation he says is crippling the company's operations. Details of this story and others in our corporate briefs roundup.
Sections of Kapenguria, West Pokot County, have been plunged into darkness after Kenya Power disconnected illegal power lines from the national grid. According to the utility firm, illegal connections are rampant in the area, endangering residents' lives. The company says it will start investigations to nab officers within the company and unscrupulous traders who have been engaging in illegal connections.
Illegal lines are 90% the cost. The remaining 10% ni ile overload yenye huyu mzee anasema. Labda mtu aliweka 3-phase and transformer haiko. So those are the main reasons why we are fighting illegal lines. Because huyu mzee ama huyu mama alilipa stima yake 1989. Ametumia mpaka juzi mwingine anakuja kuiba. Alafu inanipuka. Alafu tunamwambia ngojeni mwezi 3. Is that fair to huyo mama mwenye alilipa 1989? It's not fair.
Elsewhere, NCBA, in partnership with Tatu City, have started a mortgage financing scheme. Under the deal Buy and Build, customers will get up to 100%, enabling customers to buy a plot and construct simultaneously. The mortgages will be available to both salaried and non-salaried home buyers at Tatu City. Salaried buyers will enjoy payment terms of up to retirement age, and non-salaried customers will have terms up to the age of 65. Meanwhile, Davies and Shitcliffe has finalized construction of its ultra-modern distribution facility at Tatu Industrial Park as the company expands its market share in the country. The facility, which is the largest investment yet for the company, sits on a 5-acre piece of land, hosting the group's expansive warehouse facilities as well as offices. Finally, Nyakenyo Land Investment Company has surrendered 27 pieces of land under dispute to the Land Ministry. The company has been embroiled in a protracted dispute with Juja residents after it emerged that the company wanted to subdivide the land that is marked as an open space. While receiving the title deeds for the 27 properties, Kiambu County Commissioner Wilson Onyanga said the government will embark on reclaiming all public land in the county to create space for government projects.
Mashamba ya Nyakenyo yamekuwa na historia ndefu. Na ilikuwa imeanza kuleta maneno on the ground. So tukaketi tukasema, these public utilities ambazo watu wanasema zinataka kuchukuliwa ni zipi?
Now, national football team Harambee Stars continues to step up its preparations ahead of Friday's friendly match against Zambia's Chipolopolo. The match, the first for most local players in the squad since sporting activities were halted in early March due to the pandemic of the coronavirus, will be broadcast live right here on KBC Channel 1 from 4 p.m.
Having reported to camp on Sunday, Harambee Stars continues to prepare for tomorrow's friendly match against Zambia at the Nyawa National Stadium as head coach Francis Kimanzi strives to increase the squad's fitness levels ahead of the game. Both Kenya and Zambia will be using the fixture, which will be played behind closed doors owing to the current COVID-19 protocols, to prepare for next month's 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Stars are expected to host Comoros in Nairobi before travelling to Moroni for the return leg. Kenya sits second in Group G on 2 points, having registered 2 draws in as many matches, while Comoros leads the group on 4 points, having registered a win and a draw so far. Zambia will be looking for their first win in Group H when they take on Botswana. Chipolopolo sit bottom of the group after losing 2 matches, while Botswana are third, having lost 1 match and played out to a draw in their second match. Zambia beat Stars 2-1 when the two sides last met in Nairobi in a 2017 AFCON qualifier match. The visitors have an upper hand in tomorrow's fixture, having taken part in yet another friendly match last evening where they beat Malawi 1-0. The match will be live on KBC Channel 1 from 4 p.m. on Friday. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
And now, just before we wrap up this edition, Kilifi County ODM leaders have condemned the chaos witnessed on Keno Town in Murang'a, calling on the government to beef up security ahead of the planned by-elections in the coastal region. This even as Chama Cha Mashinani National Executive Council called on political leaders to put their differences aside and join hands in formulating policies on how to restore the country's economy.
Kilifi County ODM leaders want the government to beef up security to prevent cases of violence during the campaigns ahead of the planned by-elections in Dabaso Ward, Msambweni and Wundanyi. While condemning the chaos that erupted in Kenol Town in Murang'a, the leaders said that such chaotic scenes could take the country back to violence, as was witnessed in 2007. They are challenging leaders to stop misusing the youth and instead pursue peace and development in the country.
Tunataka kuuliza serikali penye ambaye imefikia vijana wengi ndio ambao wanapotea ikiwa ni haya mambo ya siasa. Tunataka kuuliza serikali kama usalama ama hata sheria haitumika mpaka kotini, wale ambao walihusika katika kifo cha Mzee Jola kuliwa hatua. Basi tueleze kama itafika wakati wa siasa, vijana pia nao waweze kujihami, tuweze kujilinda kama serikali haiwezi kulinda.
Meanwhile, a cross-section of youth in Gusii region have called upon their counterparts to desist from being used by politicians to cause mayhem. Speaking in Kisii town ahead of Deputy President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's visit to the county on Friday, the youth told off any leader with intent to use them to cause chaos.
We are sorry that chaos are being stage managed by some quarters of this country so that to gain political mileage.
Let us avoid what we call hate speech, because you know our county, that is Kisii County, since 2007, it has been very peaceful, and whoever comes in, we want to tell him or her that this county is a peaceful county.
And Chama cha Mashinani, National Executive Council, argues that the political tension being witnessed in the country will have adverse effects on the economy that is already hurting from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The party's Secretary General, Zedekiah Bundotich, called upon leaders to collaborate in formulating policies on how to restore the country's economy, cushion farmers from the adverse effects of the pandemic, as well as strengthen devolution.
We want to call upon all leaders to be able to join hands together in formulating the right policies that will quickly or expeditiously reverse the losses and the damages that the society, the community, and the nation have incurred because of this pandemic.
We are also of the view that devolution has to be strengthened, and that devolution strengthening means it must be clear how much resources will be going to the counties.
For Channel 1 News, I'm Safina Aching Ouma.
And that's how we wrap it here on KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. On behalf of everyone that made this possible, including our sign language interpreter Lensa Odingo and me, Allan Aoko, do enjoy the rest of your viewing. It has been an honor. Goodbye.
Vera Beauty College. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika, and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET-approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725 923 550 Nairobi branch, 0728 087 689 Eldoret branch, 0722 22 7428 Thika branch, 0725 000 706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.